Alright, our next topic is how to use algebra tiles to factor a given trinomial. So I have here x squared plus 7x plus 12, and this will be the tiles that we are going to use. X squared will be represented by this tile, x and x will be this tile, negative x will be this tile, and then positive 1 will be this, and negative 1 will be represented by this tile. So I have x squared plus 7x plus 12. The factor will always form a rectangle. Okay, so let's start by dragging x squared inside our mat. So I have my x squared here. Next is that we are going to drag 12 inside our mat. We will just leave the middle term for the meantime. So I will have 12 positive here. Now when you arrange your pink tile here, I suggest that you form a rectangle among the pink tiles. So I will have 12, so I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have here 7x, so we don't know which x are we going to use. We can either use this or this. I'll just drag two x's here for the meantime, and then 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So I have 7 x's all in all. The result is not a rectangle, so I need to rearrange my tiles so that I can form a rectangle. So what if I will move this here, move these tiles here, and form a rectangle among the pink tiles, and then I will remove this and add an X tile here. Alright, now here we already formed a rectangle. So I have x squared, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 x's, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we already represented our x squared plus 7x plus 12 as tiles, and our tiles here form a rectangle. Now we will be able to get the factor using these tiles. So here, to get x squared here, you will have to multiply x and x. Okay, so x times x is x squared. Now what is x times something to give you x? X times 1 will give you x. Same thing here, that's x times 1 to give you x, x times 1 to give you x, x times 1 to give you x. Now what about this one? So again, x times something, we should be able to get x. So x times 1 is x, x times 1 is x, x times 1 is x. If you want to check the pink tiles, then try to multiply 1 by 1. You should be able to get a positive 1. 1 times 1 is positive 1. So based from this, we will be able to get now the factors. I will have x plus 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here I have x plus 1, 2, 3. So x squared plus 7x plus 12 can be factored using these tiles with x plus 3, x plus 4. Alright, next example, x squared plus 5x plus 6. How are we going to use tiles to factor x squared plus 5x plus 6? So I'll just bring in the x squared tile first. I have 6 pink tiles. Again, the way I'll form my pink tiles, it will form a rectangle by its own. Okay, now I have 5x here, so I'll just put 3 of this and then 2 of this. So the sum of all x's is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x. Now with our first attempt, we were able to get a rectangle. So this will now give us a hint on how to get the factors of x squared plus 5x plus 6. So to get x squared here, we need to multiply x and x. So x times something should give us x, so that's 1. X times 1 will give us x, x times 1 will give us x. Same thing here, x times 1 is x times 1 is x. Now this will give us the factors. I will have x plus 3 and then x plus 2 here. Or let's have our example. I have x squared minus 5x plus 4. So bring in an x squared tile in our math. I have 4, so I'll bring down the pink tiles. Now let's form a rectangle. This in this case is square with the pink tiles alone. And I have negative 5x, so I will bring down maybe negative. I need 3 more of this. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now the model is not a rectangle, so we need to fix this one. So what if I will move this here and I will move this one here? Okay, still this one is a rectangle. I'll move this one away and bring in a negative x here. Alright, the result is now a rectangle. So I will have here x times x should be x squared. What is x times something to give us a negative x? That's negative 1. X times something to give us negative x is negative 1. So negative 1 here, negative 1, negative 1. Now let's check if we will be able to satisfy these tiles. If we multiply negative 1 and negative 1, can we get a positive 1? Yes. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. And negative 1 times negative 1 is indeed positive 1. So we were able to satisfy the multiplication property um, with this representation of our tiles. Therefore, we have the factors. I have x minus 1 and then x 1, 2, 3, 4, x minus 4. So I will have x minus 1, x minus 4. Okay, what if we have the tiles and we are going to give the factors of this model? So the first thing that we have to do is try to factor out x squared. So that's x and x. If this one is x, then this should be a negative 1. To check your answer, x times negative 1 is negative x. So this should also be negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. Okay, it's like when you factor negative x will go here and the negative 1 will go here. Okay, because negative x, factoring this one out, is negative 1 times x. So the negative 1 is over here and then the x is over here. Well, of course, our two x's are here because of the x squared. Okay, when we factor out negative x will go there, negative 1 will be here. Negative x will go there, negative 1 will be here. Now let's check. Is negative 1 times negative 1 a positive 1? Correct. Negative 1 times, let's say, negative 1, is it positive 1? Alright, it's correct. Therefore, we have the factors. I have x, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's x minus 4. And then x minus 2. So this will be the factors of this model. Our last example. Give the factors of the model below. Okay, so first let's try to factor x squared. So that's x and x. When you factor out x, so x already was brought out here. So we have 1 here. So it's like x times 1. To check your answer, x times 1 is x. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Again, check our answer. X times 1 is x, x times 1 is x, x times 1 is x, x times 1 is x. Okay. Now let's try to factor out negative x. So x already factored out here, x. Now I still have a negative 1. So let's factor out negative 1 on this side. Same thing with this. X was already factored out. Negative 1 will be here. Okay, to check our answer, is negative 1 times x equal to negative x? Okay, that's correct. Negative 1 times x is also negative x, so also correct. Now what about this tiles? Let's try to check. Is negative 1 times 1 equal to negative 1? Yes, it is. So any negative 1 times with a positive 1 will give us a negative 1. Okay, so our factors are all correct. So I will have now x 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. And here I will have x minus 2. Okay, so this will be the factors. Now if the question is find the trinomial that's represented by this tiles, then we just have to um, bring down the x squared. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's minus 2 x's. Then you will have positive 3 x's, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 negative 1, so that's negative 10. So if we would like to get the trinomial, it will be x squared plus 3x minus 10. But the factors will be x plus 5 and x minus 2.